She has an older vehicle. She needs spousal support from the defendant. He makes about $75,000. He has taken over all of the finances. He's closed an account. He has moved funds to Nigeria, we believe. There's a significant disparity in income that permanent alimony would be appropriate.
So what is the justification for me to be supporting somebody that is irresponsible? And that is what I'm fighting against now.
Court will note the appearance of Ms. McNiff on behalf of, you representing the plaintiff in this matter, Ms. McNiff?
I am, Your Honor.
Okay. The matter is before the court for a motion for temporary custody and additional relief. Ms. McNiff, you can proceed.
Your Honor, these parties have been separated since March, and the reason for the separation was domestic violence, of which the defendant pled guilty. There have been many instances of domestic violence, one in which he was charged, and the plaintiff did ask for that to be dismissed. But throughout the marriage, there's been significant physical, mental, and financial, emotional abuse. The parties have 2 adult children, and they have one 16-year-old who is still in the home. The 16-year-old has expressed a desire to live with both parents on an alternating week basis. And so we are accepting of that. However, we would ask that the court require that defendant not use any corporal punishment on this child. He does have a history of being violent with the children as well as with plaintiff in this matter. So while I have concerns about that situation, my client does accept the fact that this child wants to spend time with both of the parents. My client does, at the time of filing, did not have employment. She left the home with a few $1,000s, about I believe it was about $7,000 to $8,000. She has an older vehicle. She needs spousal support from the defendant. Defendant is a tenured professor at Albion College. He makes about $75,000. He has taken over all of the finances. He's closed an account. He has moved funds to Nigeria, we believe. My client has absolutely no access to any of the marital funds. And so we are asking for both child support and spousal support in the amount of at least $1,000 per month. In addition, my client hasn't had sufficient funds to be able to pay an engagement fee for me. We're asking for $5,000 for attorney fees. And I outlined in detail in my motion both the law regarding attorney fees. We submitted a budget for my client that indicates that she has expenses per month of about $5,121 and no way to pay those. And again, she has this vehicle that's a 2006 that's kind of on its last legs. She needs to be able to have a vehicle that she can use to transport the minor child and to look for work. If she finds work, she needs to be able to get back and forth to that work. To date, I haven't heard from defendant. We don't have an answer to the complaint. We don't have an answer to this motion. But given the long-term physical, mental, emotional, and financial abuse, we believe that it's appropriate for spousal support. I did also attach a copy of the child or spousal support calculator, the Craig Ross calculator, that indicates that because this is a long-term marriage and there's a significant disparity in income, that permanent alimony would be appropriate. So at this point, we believe that temporary alimony in the amount of $1,000 is appropriate, which is a small amount in comparison to what defendant earns.
Okay, thank you. Sir, what's your response to the motion?
Good morning, Your Honor. Of course, I disagree with all the things the counsel just presented to you. There has never been any kind of corporate punishment or physical abuse of my spouse or the children. The basis of the disagreement has to do with disrespect and not being responsible. I find it very funny that the attorney said that I never responded. They listed all my degrees, but never listed that my wife has a master's degree. But the basis of our argument over years has been leaving jobs and not being responsible for our actions. And this has really now culminated in my oldest son that I got an admission for at where I teach now, Albion College, that she, behind my back, went to get another admission for him in Grand Rapids. This was a guy that struggled in high school. I'm a professor of biology. He wanted to study dentistry. I said, come to Albion College to get your biology degree before to go to dental school. Last year, after getting admission in Albion College, without my knowledge, the car I bought for the son, they left it, went to buy another car. Now the car is being repossessed. Now he has dropped out of college. So it's this disrespect and not being responsible that always cause the problem. And with regards to what they said I pleaded to, it was because of this son that we had a fight here in the house in December over asking where my son was. So she has prevented me from seeing the boy for over a year now. So I'm not an abusive person. And Your Honor, so that you know the height of your responsibility, I even got a job for my wife at Albion College, director of trio program. She hated me for that for a year. The gift I gave to her, she refused to use it. I gave the gift to my sister in Nigeria when I went this January. Your Honor, the council should address why she left that job. It was the same stubbornness, the same attitude that I deal with at home that she took to Albion College, that she left after a year, criticizing people she met there that have been working there for decades. So these are the consistent behavior that I fought against. You know, keep a job. Before then, she would leave a job, she won't let me know. Before the Albion College job, she left a job with her best friend in Jackson. I did not know for like a month. She said she was on vacation. And we sat down. Your Honor, ask my wife to show you your 401k. She doesn't. She has never been fired. She always leaves jobs. I've been at this job for 19 years. She has worked here at Albion and Jackson of over 5 different types of jobs. So what is the justification for me to be supporting somebody that is irresponsible? And that is what I'm fighting against now. The same corporal punishment, quote unquote, that the council mentioned was the way I advised my daughter. She now started a job last week as an engineering specialist. She studied engineering. My oldest son is moving from one job to the next. The job he has a job at the bank, my bank, where he left, they won't take him back. He has now flipping burger at Taco Bell. Talking about family finances, we have our individual account. The money over $10,000 that my wife wiped out the day I went for spring break was my salary account, where I got the mortgage from, where I got the refinancing to do the roof. She has her own account. We put our name in both accounts. In fact, I filed a case. I have a case file here because she withdrew over $12,000. Actually, the way she knew my tracking number and card number was I gave a check to my daughter who was in an accident that I insured all the cars. So they sent a check to me. We have a fight over that. She wanted me to give a check to her that doesn't have her name. So I deposited the check in my account. When I was traveling, I said, Charlena, this is the check because Olapade lives in Indiana. Give this check to Olapade. This is the check the insurance issued. She went to the bank, put a stop payment to that. I was charged for that. For that check, almost $5,000. She withdrew 3 different withdrawals that day, over $12,000. The case is with the police station. I called her. I reported that. So, we don't have a joint account. She should show evidence where she has been withdrawing money from that account. When we file taxes, I will pay for the tax filing, and then I will give her half of what we get in return. She had a problem this year because we were owing over $3,000. So I joked. I said, last year you got half of what we got back. This year, when we are owing, give me your own half. She had a fight over that. So financial irresponsibility, not maintaining. She has 2 degrees. She has 1 first degree. She will always say she cannot use her degree to work here in Michigan. Our master's degree in education can only work in Ohio. These are things we have to address in mediation. Why she thought she should withdraw almost $12,000 from my account when I was out of town on spring break. Something she's done this before. She went to take a leaf sheet of my check about 10 years ago when we were fighting. And I said, that would be criminal. This is not your account. All of these are verifiable. I will talk to my bank. They will print out all the interaction. So I filed that and I went to the police station. I have the case number that they gave me here for the money she withdrew. Now, you withdrew money March 11 You went to get a house that you cannot afford. Our mortgage is not even up to 1,000. You went to get a whole house, 3-bedroom house for you alone that you are paying 1,000 as the council put in the case they sent to me. Who does that? She has never paid one single mortgage or rent since we met in 1999 that we started living together, married in 2000. She can't say it. She will tell me I'm not saying she doesn't pay daycare or something like that. But of all the bills we paid in this house, we've been living in this house for 13 years. The only thing Charlena pays is Semco Energy. She should show the evidence, other bills she paid. So I've been the responsible person out of my checking account. She talk about me having a CD. I was saving. I make a lot of money teaching I'm teaching the virology class, extra money. So I put that money extra to take advantage of the 5% CD. The money she sent, I'm taking to Nigeria. I have a 86-year-old dad in Nigeria. 70. I told her, she wouldn't have known. I said, Charlena, the exchange rate is, I just opened that account. I'm in Nigeria and I've been living in the US for 30 years. I just opened this account in January. So it's not as if.
Okay, hold on, sir. Hold on.
Yes.
We're getting into a lot of stuff that we're not obviously able to address today. The court is going to schedule an evidentiary hearing in this matter so that we can get all the information. I do want information at that time on all of the accounts that the parties had and what the plaintiff took out of the account, what was left in the account, what maybe the defendant withdrew from the account. And I want to get all that information so that the court has all of the, the facts in this particular case.
Thank you, Honor.
Sir, do you have any dispute with basically having joint custody of your child?
Oh, no, she's a good mom.
Okay.
She's just a disrespectful wife.
Okay.
I have no problem with that. Well, I will put a quote and unquote. A good mother will not intentionally.
Okay, sir, I ask you one simple question. I don't need a narrative. Okay.
Thank you. Your Honor, can I address the issue of the legal fees?
Okay, what the court's going to do is court is going to grant to the parties temporary joint legal and joint physical custody on an alternating weekly basis with the child. I understand that may change based upon the child's schedule, et cetera, but you can try to work that out. Court would order support for the child consistent with the income of the defendant in this matter, and the court will impute to the plaintiff at this time income on full-time at $15 per hour. The court will grant on a temporary basis spousal support of $1,000 per month commencing July 1, 2024, and each month thereafter. Hopefully we can get the matter in within a month or so, and then we'll be able to make a determination whether that is appropriate. The court would grant, at least on a temporary, on an interim basis, will grant to the plaintiff contribution towards attorney fees in the amount of $1,500, which will be payable within 30 days of today's date. Again, when we have the hearing, we'll be able to review all of this at that particular time, and we'll be able to get more information. So we will be in contact with you and try to set up a time when we can have the hearing. Obviously, it'll be a limited scope hearing with the parties and any of the information on the bank accounts, et cetera.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can you give me an idea of how long you anticipate that hearing would be for?
You mean when it'll be? How many?
Like a half day, an hour?
I'm probably looking at, we'll probably schedule it on a Wednesday at 2 o'clock, and so you'd have a couple hours probably.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Your Honor, can I have this question, Your Honor?
Sure.
Is this something I can appeal or challenge? Because you did not let me, I intentionally cannot afford an attorney. I don't know why I'm paying for somebody that knows that she cannot afford an attorney and went to get an attorney.
Sir, you can appeal anything that the court rules in this particular matter. Once we have an order, Ms.
Okay.
Going to have to submit an order. She'll submit that within 7 days of today's date. Then at the time that the order is entered, you have a 21-day appeal period to take the matter to the Court of Appeals, and then we will Again, we'll have the matter in for an evidentiary hearing when we can get more information.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. You're free to
Your
go. Have a
Honor.
good day.
Your Honor,
No, ma'am, you have an attorney. You can talk to Ms. McNiff.
thank you.
We need spousal support. The spousal support that was awarded previously was inequitable and unfair to defendant, and she is essentially barely getting by having to dip into whatever property award that she was given. It's clear that plaintiff is utilizing his superior financial condition and more extensive resources.
Dad wants to stop paying spousal support after he found his prenuptial agreement.